Hello, humans. My name is Sarah Vargas. This is Martha the T-Rex, and I'm a visibility coach. My business is She-Rex Marketing, She-Rex as in T-Rex, because business and branding doesn't have to be boring. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about audience, and it's one of my favorite things because I think everything revolves around who your audience is. So, as my tradition, I'm going to do it with an analogy. So you all know the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, or at least you think you do. You think it's just about a little girl that breaks into her house and destroys a bunch of things in her pursuit of what? Figuring out like what she likes and what she doesn't like. It's supposed to be a story about warning kids against going into the woods by themselves and vandalism, but it's actually a marketing story. Let me explain. Let's say that Goldilocks is actually a business owner and she's doing prospecting and she's doing research. And so she went to the house of the family of bears. And in this there, she finds porridge and she finds chairs and she finds beds, and they're all different from each other, which really confuses her because they're all one family living in one house. So they should all like the exact same thing. She's been wanting her messages to be really broad, and she's been trying to reach this family for a really long time, and she doesn't understand why her messages aren't landing on them. And she gets in there and she's like, man, they all have different tastes and everything. Well, shoot, now I need to make sure that my messages are really specific, but now they're going to talk to Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear all at the same time, which is actually already what she's doing. She's making her messages super broad. And so she's not reaching anybody because it sounds like she's talking to everybody. It's just static, white noise. And then nobody really knows who she's talking to. Unfortunately for her, when they find her, because she's so exhausted from trying to rack her brain in all the different messages and she falls asleep, the bears are not happy with her because they kind of got their house destroyed. And so they're not going to do business with her anyways. What she doesn't know is there's another company in the forest, and it's the carpenter ants. And the carpenter ants have been doing business with the family of bears for years. They've been making all of their furniture for them. They are known in the forest for creating the softest chairs and the softest beds in all of the forest. And Mama Bear found out about them through her group at school when she was talking to all the other moms about different things. And of course, everyone talks because they're all friends. And they're like, oh, Mama Bear, you should go over to the carpenter ants. They make the softest beds and the softest chairs. And so she drags Baby Bear and Papa Bear with her as she's going shopping. And when they're there, the carpenter ants want to show her how soft the chairs are. So right next to it, they have the hardest chair. They have the hardest chair in all the forest. So she can compare the hardest chair to the softest chair. And as she sits in the hardest chair, she's like, oh, I do not like this chair at all. This is too hard. And she sits in the softest chair and she's like, oh, this is much better. This is more my style. And Papa Bear gets tired of waiting. So he sits in the softest chair. He's like, oh, I could not do this. My back would not be able to handle this. And they're like, why not you sit in the hardest chair and see how that works for you? And he sits in the hardest chair. And he's like, oh, well, this is more like it. Why don't you make furniture like this? And they're like, we do. And he's like, well, can I buy this? Yes, of course you can. They don't advertise it. They have it for comparison. And they were going to ask at the end if there's anything else they can do for Papa Bear or for Baby Bear. But they attracted the family by being known for making the softest chairs. So Papa Bear gets a chair, Mama Bear gets a chair. And on the way out the door, before they're purchasing everything, Baby Bear's like, well, that's not fair. I don't like either one of these. And they're like, well, we can custom make things too. We've got a whole crew of carpenter ants in the back that we can make things whatever you want. And he's like, well, I want to choose in between the two. And they work on it a little bit and they custom make it, and it's perfect, just right for Baby Bear. They got all three as customers by only talking to one. The concept is the same. You talk to one audience. You narrow in on what their problems are, on what their issues are. And when they realize how talented you are in what you do, they're going to talk about it to all their other friends. And some of their friends aren't going to like exactly what they like. I mean, Mama Bear and Papa Bear are married to each other and they don't like the same things. And you're going to get a wider audience by just having conversations with people. Because as service-based people, we have a lot of conversations with our clients. And you're going to be able to have the conversations, say, oh, well, I can do that too. Oh, yeah, I can help with that. I don't market that, but I can help with that. They're like, oh. And because they've already built up a know, like, and trust with you, they're going to send you their friends too. That's the concept of this, is the more you narrow in on one audience, you're actually going to get more than just that one audience. But if you're talking to everybody, confused humans don't buy, especially when they're laying down money. When they're laying down money and they don't think you're talking to them, we have so much digital happening right now that they are just flipping like this. And if it doesn't sound like you're talking to them, they're going to flip past you. You got to talk to one audience. Now, there is an exception to this. And I know you're wondering. I work with people who are struggling to show up authentically in their marketing, to craft the right messages, to reach the right audience, to grow their business. I am showing up authentically in my marketing. And because I have dinosaurs in my marketing, in the visual side of my marketing, the visual side of your marketing is a whole different element that will attract the clients you're looking for. You've got the visual side and the verbal side of your marketing. I'm attracting clients that are attracted to me or they're coming for her. They think it's funny, which is good because that's why I have her. She is my filter for finding the audience that I want. So you don't always have to say, I only work with this type of people. You can do it in the way you're showing up because you know your audience in your head. You don't necessarily have to say it out loud. You know your audience in your head. So you're speaking the language and the messaging to reach that audience. I'm here to help. As a visibility coach, this is so much fun for me. The more information you give me about your businesses, the more creativity I have for your business. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at she_rex_marketing, she-rex as in T-Rex. Also www.she-rex-marketing.com. And let's have fun. Let's build up your brand to be authentic to you and reach the right clients with the right messages to watch your business grow. That's my favorite part of this, is watching how fast you can grow when you know who you're talking to.